What's up, guys? Welcome back or to the channel. And if you guys are here, then I bet you're wondering what happened to the TJ. And yes, this is a piece of my transfer case. And yeah, I don't enjoy making these videos as I have said in the past, but it is something we got to do, I guess, because you play hard and you end up breaking the Jeep. So yeah, the Jeep is sitting here. It's been here for a few days now, and if you guys watched the last video, then you know that my transfer case exploded, and it looks something like this. Now, I apologize if it's a little bit noisy. I am parked near the street, but you can see, yeah, she does not look great. So what happened? Well, if we take a closer look over here at the actual housing that broke off, there is a lot of stress cracks and fractures. Now, I cleaned this up as best as I could, but these don't all look like they happened because of the actual shaft busting through and splitting the metal here. Those stress cracks look like they've been there for quite some time, and they look like they've actually been building and waiting to break, basically. So I'm not saying that obviously what we did broke it, but I think that it was coming. It was definitely in the works. It definitely wasn't something that happened just because of that one trail ride. It is a 20-year-old Jeep. Whenever you have something old and you start beating on it, things happen, and it's just part of the game. So I'm definitely not mad. It is something that I have to deal with now. My buddy has a transfer case for me, and we will be throwing in a transfer case. The reason that I'm throwing in an entire transfer case instead of just doing a slip yoke eliminator kit, and if you guys don't know what that is, it basically gets you this entire shaft back here. So you get a new shaft and you get this housing right here. So this entire housing here I can replace, and I can get a new one with my slip yoke eliminator. What the slip yoke eliminator does is basically, just like the name says, it eliminates the slip yoke portion of your drive shaft. And what that basically is this. This portion here is splined and it slips onto the yoke. The other portion is a U-joint, and it basically attaches to the actual axle end. So when you get a slip yoke, you eliminate this, and you basically have a flat plate, and you have a little bit of a different joint here. You have a double joint sometimes you have a single. It depends what kind of drive shaft you get, but it is a stronger drive shaft. It takes a bit more of an angle. You don't have to really worry about having as much of a lift at that point. You can lift it higher without having the transmission or the transfer case drop. So basically it helps in a lot of cases, or in a lot of ways. So I definitely want to get that, but the reason I'm not doing that is there is still some knocking and some popping and some noises when we're in drive. When we're actually just sitting there and idling, there isn't any noise, but when we're actually driving, there is some popping and knocking. So process of elimination, we're gonna throw in a new drive shaft, or sorry, we're gonna throw in a new transfer case, throw in the drive shaft, and go from there and see if we still have popping and knocking, and if we need to replace anything in the axles, or if the transmission is bad or what. But what I assume is happening, because when I'm rolling, when I was getting pulled, there is no popping and knocking. And when you're getting pulled and when the engine is running, everything is still moving. The transfer case is moving, all the gears are moving in the drive, all the gears are moving inside of your transmission, all the gears inside of everything are moving because it's rolling, everything's still connected. And same thing with the back axle. Even though it isn't actually live and it's not connected, it's still moving because the wheels and shaft are there. So the noise only happen when we're in gear and we're driving. What I assume is that main shaft is damaged further than just what we can see sticking out of the actual back of the transfer case, and we have a lot more damage inside. So I'm gonna wait to see what happens when I replace the whole transfer case. If I still have that popping and knocking, like I said, process of elimination, we'll go one step at a time and we'll see what happens. Here is the rest of my drive right there, or the output shaft I should say. So there's that slip yoke portion right there. So you can see it broke off pretty nasty. It basically just like sheared itself right in half. Hopefully we can get ourselves up and running. I'm pretty sure we will get ourselves up and running, but I don't have faith in that transfer case anymore. Another reason I don't have faith in the transfer case is when I go to shift it, I can't shift it from 4 low into 4 high or into 2 high. I can shift it into neutral. Even if I go all the way down to where 2-wheel drive is, it's still in neutral. Because I've tried rolling it, I've tried doing everything, and it doesn't feel like it should. Like you can see how easily it pops back up, that it shouldn't do that. So definitely something's fucked up. So I'm gonna have to see, we're gonna throw in a new transfer case and we'll see. That is definitely the first step. From there, I'll see if I wanna get a slip yoke or what, this or that, but let's just get it running and let's get it, see exactly what else is broken in it. And one thing that I noticed after we brought it back from the trail, after it came off the flatbed, was my axle started leaking. You can see all of the fluid buildup on the actual knuckle and running down the tire all the way to here. What I think happened was from all the water crossings, I got water in the axle, even though I have outer axle seals. I got water in the axle, the water filled the axle, pushed all the oil to the top, and the oil came out, and it's probably full of water. So not only are my axles probably full of mud water, my transfer case is probably full of mud water. So I'm definitely going to want to give everything a good flush and open everything up. I'm going to open up both diffs tomorrow. I'm going to open up we'll take off the transfer case. We're going to change the gear oil in the transmission, and we will check the oil in the engine. But let's give it a quick look right now. To be honest with you, this thing is a 4-liter. As my buddy Ryan says, you can literally take the oil filter off, take a sock, fill it with dirt, and throw it on there, and this thing will still run like a dream. And he's not wrong. But no, oil is good. We do not need an oil change. I've never really gotten water inside of my engine, even though my intake looks like this and my engine looks like that. Trust me, she's a beast. And yes, before I get like 20 comments, I got a haircut. I shaved my head. It is summertime. We are in the middle of a heat wave where I live, and yeah, that's just how I do. But back to the Jeep. Why did it break? Well, if you guys saw, I wasn't going that hard. I wasn't going like crazy. I wasn't actually killing it. What happened was the Jeep, while I was climbing that rock, it bounced, and the back end bounced a few times. The first 2 times it bounced, I let off the throttle and it stalled. And when I restarted it, it went up and it bounced another 1, 2, and then the 3rd time, it wasn't even that loud of a pop, but you heard it pop. And what happened there was something has to break when you're spinning tires, or when you're trying to spin tires and they're not spinning. So I was at 7 PSI, they did not want to spin. So instead of spinning, you get that hop. And once you get that hop, that's where you break shit, because all that power has to go somewhere, and if it can't spin the tires, then it goes back through the drive line, and the weakest point, which I guess at that point was that piece of the transfer case, something breaks, and that's just what ends up happening. So unfortunately, we ended up shattering the transfer case and grenading our transfer case. It happens. It is a bitch. I'm not gonna say that I'm not happy about it, but what are you gonna do? So I would say, if you guys want to make sure that something like this doesn't happen to you and you guys don't have to experience this same kind of thing, basically, if you start hopping while you're off-roading and your Jeep is climbing something, just take it easy, slow down, stop. Don't let it hop, don't keep giving it gas, don't let it keep eating. I know it feels like you want to make it up that and the hopping is going to help. Trust me, most of the time, it's just going to break shit. And here is the proof for you right here. So believe me, this isn't a great situation, but it could be a lot worse. We could have broken our axle, we could have broken a lot of different things, transmission. So transfer case went, it went. It is what it is. We'll repair it tomorrow. So the next video, or tomorrow's video, I will be putting this thing on a flatbed. We will be taking it to my buddy Darnell's house. If you guys have been following the channel, then you know Darnell. and we're gonna basically go over there, throw in whatever parts we need to get this thing up and running, and we shall get it up and running. So yeah, why do I think it broke? Well, because it's old and we beat the crap out of it many times for many years, and finally something gave. I've already broken the gears in the rear axle, I've already broken U-joints, so the weakest point there was that shaft, because everything else is new. U-joints are new, the axle gears are replaced, so everything is strengthened. So everything is pretty much as strong as it's gonna get. And now we're gonna throw in a new transfer case. So what are we gonna break next? Who knows? But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today's video. That's the update. It's broken, we're gonna fix it. Everything is gonna be okay. It's not a big deal. So definitely, if you guys want to see this thing get repaired and what else is fucked up and see exactly what we need to do, then tune into tomorrow's video or the next video. It should be up in a couple days because yeah, I don't know how many days it's gonna take us to fix it. Hopefully it'll be up and running tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for sticking around. If you guys are new around here, definitely jump down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, because I've got tons more footage for you guys. So hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.